Alrighty. Live. Cabot, Arkansas. This is answering your financial questions with Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, Steve Money. That's me. All right. So live again, and we'll be answering your financial questions. First, shameless plugs. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And for further financial content, just scroll down to this playlist, answering your financial questions. And this is what, number 123. Actually, this is number 124. I'll change that later. Forgot to change it. The Ramsey Show After Show. And there are 393 of those. And that show at least through the month of September, I'm doing those Tuesdays and Thursdays when the Ramsey Show is done with YouTube and goes to the network app. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. So listen to those if you are so inclined. All right, let's get into the questions. Reddit, I used all the questions up last week, and so I'm letting that fill up again. And I'll do that again Tuesday, for the Ramsey Show After Show. But now I'm going to be doing some questions from the Ramsey Baby Steps Community Facebook group. So let's go. I'm having trouble getting affordable home insurance in Florida because my home is from the 1970s. Are you homeowners from Florida? How are you homeowners from Florida handling the home insurance premiums? They're going up just because of, I hit a rainstorm, ain't nothing to mess with. And so you got a lot of buildings crumbling now just because they have never been dealt with. I guess the weathering on those is bad. And so there's some insurance companies that have moved out of there. They're not insuring homes there anymore at all. So it's going up there. So that has to be part of the cost of living in Florida. And so if you can't afford it anymore, you have to move. Has anyone found the elusive granny garage sale car? The one that is 20 years old, kept in a garage and part of a garage sale to empty out an inherited house. No, I haven't found that one, but on cars.com a few years ago, I certainly found a 1750 car. 1,750, 2005 Suzuki Verona. It needed $175 worth of an exhaust put on it. So that took up the total to $2,000. But there you go. They are out there. People just don't spend about 2 seconds looking and say, oh, they're not there. Or they dismiss the cheap ones just because they think, oh, that's going to break in a second. Justification station for not getting a cheaper car. Today we became 100% debt free, no credit card debt, no car payments, and the mortgage was paid off this morning. It can be done, folks. It took 3 years to knock out the remainder of a $119,000 mortgage, along with paying cash for any repairs or remodel work for the past 11 years. Well, I wouldn't do remodel work until you're 100% debt free. We took a 30-year mortgage and paid it off in 10 years and 10 months. Okay, that's great. You're not supposed to get a 30-year mortgage just in case you don't do that, because you will have to address that in 15 years when that mortgage is up if you have not paid that off by then. Keep on keeping on. You too shall get there. Like it's just two of us reading. It's more than two of us. Well, maybe not right now on the stream. Let's see. Would love more single people's testimonies. Two incomes I find very easy to accomplish goals. That's dumb. That's dumb. I mean, you're splitting theoretically if both people work. You're splitting, expenses like rent or mortgage, that kind of thing. But I mean, you can think of any excuse that you want to, and if it's because you're single that you're not going to be debt free and you're not going to be intentional with money or follow any of Dave's other advice, that's fine. Also, is there another group similar to this, but just single people? Thanks. There's some Ramsey dating groups on the Facebook, but all of those have married people in there that aren't looking for single people. I think they just want to be in more Ramsey groups. So, of course, I haven't checked it out for 3 years, though, so some of them may be gone. It's ugly, but it's the most practical and reliable vehicle I've ever had. Bought this 2005, same year as mine. Chrysler Town and Country minivan in 2017 with 105,000 miles for $3,000 cash. It's now got 2008 miles and still ticking just fine. It's my trash run vehicle, animal food vehicle, my dog stretch out and relax vehicle, and I love it. Plan on driving it until the engine croaks. Even managed to fit a doghouse in it for my rooster's bachelor pad. Alrighty. How do you stay motivated when it doesn't seem like you're making headway with your debt? Well, if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice, then you are making headway with your debt because you are paying extra on it with each paycheck, or at least each month you're paying extra on it. So you are making headway. If it doesn't seem like you're not making headway, then you're not paying enough attention to the numbers and seeing the amount of debt owed go down. I think I know the answer, but no, 4 dots. If I include my emergency fund, I have enough to pay off a credit card. Should I do it or wait till I don't have to include the emergency fund? And this is why I have this as lyrics in the How to Do the Baby Steps Right song. How's it go? Step 1, 1K emergency fund. You don't save more to add to that fund. You don't use that to pay off debt. And don't even think about higher steps. That's one of those songs that's in there. But yeah, people always think, oh, they have this $1,000 and then they start paying off debt and then they forget that they were supposed to have a starter emergency fund. It's an emergency fund. The emergency fund doesn't go to pay off debt when you feel like it or to use anything else, buy anything else when you feel like it. So you're doing it wrong. It's an emergency fund. Best case scenario, you never have an emergency and that $1,000 stays in there forever until it becomes the fully funded emergency fund. And that amount stays in there. The 3 to 6 months of expenses, you never have an emergency and that stays in there forever and you never touch it. That is the best case scenario. You do not use it for anything except an emergency, which is why it's called an emergency fund. And yes, you did know the answer, so what's the dealio? My son what up, Robert G, building my coaching practice. Any tips? How many clients do you coach a month on average? I do not know. Do not know, sir. It varies a lot. My son, who is 19, has a good full-time career, makes good money, has a good savings, and is debt-free. He currently is putting about 25 to 30% in his 401k, maxes out the company match too. He lives at home, but someday wants to buy a house. Okay. Should he lower his contributions, save more for down payment? Thanks. He needs to have a full emergency fund first. You have that full emergency fund first before you start investing. But then after that, after the full emergency fund, you also don't save a down payment before you have a full emergency fund. And if you're going to buy a house, I suggest the 6-month emergency fund, even for a single person, because stuff breaks on houses. So I recommend that 6 months for that. So do that first, but then after that, you get to decide the balance, the ratio between step 3B, which is that down payment, and step 4, investing. Matter of fact, if you want to save a bigger down payment faster, you can even not invest for 2 years. Dave is fine with you taking off 2 years of investing and solely putting that money to the down payment. If it's any more than 2 years, he wants you back in investing by then. Let's see, I'm a little confused. I have 2 savings accounts, one attached to the checking account that I use and has a little over $10,000 in it. One is attached to an account that we don't use and has $5,555 in it. Both have cash going into them. All right. I mean, people do have like 10 accounts and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's not necessary, but if it helps you stick to the budget, if it helps you stay intentional and so forth, then you should definitely do it. But let's see, want to use one as a sinking fund, one as an emergency fund. That's fine. The sinking fund has to be for an exact purpose, not just a slush fund in case you want to spend money. Repairs of vehicles, garage, and house to do. Oh, we have them. Okay, so if they definitely have to be done, yeah, you can do sinking funds for that, and it has an exact name on it. Not sure which account to use for emergency funds, which one to use for sinking funds. It doesn't matter. You pick one. So you shouldn't have any, if you have debt, you shouldn't have any savings other than the $1,000 emergency fund. And then even afterwards, after you pay off debt, you should just have just the emergency fund and no extra other than you can do sinking funds, but you shouldn't have any extra. So you need to work your savings so that you don't have any extra in it, and that everything extra, your snowball amount, now that you're out of debt and have the full emergency fund, is going to steps 4, 5, and 6, or saving that down payment. But this is a different person. I'm not sure which. Oh, there we go. Either way it goes, we're in baby step 3. Great. Yeah, we're planning on using the one attached to the regular checking account today. Okay. I mean, you guys figure that out. Probably the one that has the more in it, you would use the one that will always have more in it, maybe, but you can do whatever you want. Let's see, we have a little over 1,000 in the checking account and could use that if we make some adjustments to the budget, which is entirely possible. We could go to gas, meds, and groceries only for this week and be able to just use the money in the checking account without moving money. We get paid next Friday. Yeah, you want to work it out so you don't constantly have to move money back and forth. So that's what you want to do. So you want to not commit money to some sinking fund, but then you also need money. You would have to pull money back out of it for some expense. All right. Robert G put in a message and then retracted it. Which that's fine. That's your right to do on YouTube. Baby step 2 here. We are selling our home to pay off debt. Alrighty. That sometimes happens. You buy your house and it's too much house before you find Dave and start following his advice. And sometimes you got to sell the house. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you can make it work. But, and sometimes you just choose to, whether you actually have to and are house poor or not. Let's see, our bills are more than our income right now. Yeah, that's a problem. Currently, a house payment is 30% of our income, and it should be 25% of take-home pay. So if you got a 30-year mortgage, you are definitely house poor. Husband has been in trouble finding a job due to his PTSD. He's a disabled vet, and we get VA disability. Yeah, not the best situation to buy a house in. So if that was already happening when you bought the house, shouldn't have. He has been unemployed for a while because of his disability. He can only do remote work. We plan on paying off our mortgage and most of our debt depending on how much we get for our home. Plan to rent a house or townhome when we move, I guess. This will alleviate all of the stress we have been having in our lives right now. Thoughts? Another option would be to stop paying our credit card bills, go to collections, and then try to settle or file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy should be the last possible option. So, I mean, if you can't afford it because of your necessities, your four walls, shelter, food, clothing, transportation. If you pay those, and if you have to let credit cards go to collections, you do that, and then you can try to settle them after that. But again, bankruptcy would be the last option to do. Oh my gosh! An exclamation after each of those words. I finally used the Every Dollar app, and I am not at the end of the month, and I have spent $700 on food. No wonder I can't pay my bills. Was blind, but now I see. I had no clue I was wasting that much. I'm in shock. Clarification, Texas, 5 member family, 3 kids. 7, 12, and 11. Fast food only. Does not include groceries or restaurants. 700 on fast food in a month. So you see, if you have non-mortgage debt at all, you are not even getting fast food. You're not doing restaurants. You're only doing grocery food. So yeah, hopefully this person got their stuff together from that. Yeah. That's, I mean, 700 is a lot. Body shop, $300 quote to replace door hinges and bushings. Nuts and bolts cost $20 for this person. Look at that. Guess what? It works. Excellent. And that's how you save money. Paid off my last credit card today. Excellent. What's the best financial advice you ever received? Probably, I mean, it's a general thing, but it's probably like just all of the Ramsey advice, which is basically being intentional with your money. And often that fixes other things in your life like that. You have to work together with a spouse to get your finances in order. And so Dave often hears, he says that he saved people's marriages and so forth just because they started talking, because they had to talk in the budget meeting and to fix their finances. And so because of that, they talked more and saved their marriage. So cool. But yeah, just to to do better with finances, basically, and that's just the general Dave Ramsey advice. It took 11 months and 20 days, but my wife and I are officially in baby step 3. Excellent. 2 credit cards, 2 car loans, and a student loan. $47,000 gone. Alrighty. I have a whole room that I've dedicated as my Goodwill pile. It's full of clothes and other things that we have decided we don't need. I've spent many years accumulating stuff. Garage sales, emotional shopping, etc. That will happen. Plus, we have a teen, so lots of clothes to outgrow over the years. I've been really great about cutting down on the unnecessary purchases. As we ease into the baby steps, you should actually run Gazelle intensely into the baby steps, not easing and not cutting down. You stop unnecessary purchases completely. But I still don't know the best way to get rid of this stuff. Part of me wants to just drop it off somewhere, but I know there are hundreds of dollars worth of clothing and household goods. Any recommendations on how to get the most for your wanted things? You're going to have to list it one at a time on eBay or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But Facebook Marketplace and Craig's, you make sure you meet the person in for the exchange in a extremely public place. And you don't send them the stuff in advance. You don't mail it or anything like that and then expect to get paid, because you won't. Little agua. It has not been easy. I come from a large family who loves to spend. I also have money dependency I'm working on. What does that mean? And I've had some emergencies come up, which I needed to use my emergency fund for. But this has been so worth it. The stress of debt is far worse. I feel free now. I feel in charge. Great. I've been reading all of your posts for a few weeks since I joined, and I've learned a lot from you all. My question is, I have some credit card debt that I want to pay off and destroy the cards, but it seems like the best thing to do would be to get a home equity loan. Nope. At 10% and use the $2,000 a month I am paying on the 20% interest cards to get it paid down quickly and then apply it to the actual mortgage to pay off our house. Most of the posts seem to discourage that. There's a reason, because that's not the advice. You do not ever tap the equity in your house except to avoid foreclosure or bankruptcy. That would be the only time that you do it, not to pay down your debt faster in something that makes you think you've done something. Just moving it around, it doesn't matter if it's less interest. Let it stay on the higher interest and get it paid off faster. You do more work than just trying to think around it. So no home equity loan, not advised at all. People on here discourage a home loan. That's right. My husband's against it too. Husband is right in this case. I know men's ain't always right, but in this case, he is right. Seems like the best to do to get where we want to be. Yeah, that's because you're still thinking the old way. You need to think the new way, where you don't use loans to pay off loans. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Oh, let's see, where we only have 10 years until we retire. My mind isn't made up. I need advice. The man itself gives the advice. And that's to not do that. The advice is to stop spending money on other crap and sell some of the crap you bought with some of that debt that you're not using regularly. Anything you're not using regularly, you sell. Anything else you can cut out. Anything you're buying that's not a necessity, stop it. You're just on necessities until you pay off all that 20% interest cards down, until you pay them all off. And so you pay them off quickly. You don't do a quick fix. Quick fix does not change your behavior. And you need to change your behavior to do this stuff. And so that's why the advice is the way it is, despite what it seems like to you. Let's see. Your husband's right. Has anyone bought a house before selling their primary home? Oh, people do that all the time. How long did you consume 2 mortgages? What was your experience like? You shouldn't do that. If you need extra time in the house, you can arrange that with the buyer, and you can put it in there whatever they'll agree to. Like if you need 2 extra weeks, you do not have 2 mortgages ever. Ever. Let's see, background, husband and I and a 17-year-old daughter still in school at home have been really considering selling our home. 17-year-old daughter doesn't get a vote on the house. Maybe you're just saying that she lives there too. The market is pretty good in our area, and we could potentially walk away with approximately $100,000 to $125,000 in equity. The market is so good, though everything we want to downsize to is overpriced. Oh, yeah, that's going to happen if the same reason you have going to have that much in equity, the other real estate is in the area has gone up by that amount as well. Needs too much work or is gone within 30 seconds of being listed. This makes me fearful to sell my home. At the same time, we're trying to find another one. For context, we are in baby step 6 with a healthy 6-month emergency fund, and we owe approximately $217 with 3.3% interest rate. Is it crazy to buy another home and float for 4 to 6 months before listing hours? Yes, it is. Not many people want to move in Ohio winters. This was just posted recently. So I don't know what Ohio winters have to do about it unless you're not planning on moving for months and months. So yeah, like I said, you have to work that out ahead of time so you don't have 2 mortgages at the same time. Not advised at all. I would like to say the Ramsey show is more of an intentionality show than a money show. So many people fix other things in their lives besides money. Live the life that you want to live. You happen to life. Okay. You get to choose. Congrats to everyone that's having their greatest life ever. Thank you, Ramsey. Yep. I mean, that's true. Like I was saying before, the intentionality that can move to other things than just money. And so you can be intentional with your time, for example. Not just your money, but your time as well. Any other, anything else, you can be intentional with it. And so it does promote good habits, and it's 80 money. Even the money stuff is 80% behavior. And so that's what you're doing. You're changing. You're actually, you're changing to be more intentional. And for some people, it's being intentional at all because they were not any intentional previously, which is how the finances got that bad. Our first mortgage payment kicks in next month. My wife and I are trying to figure out how much extra we want to apply to the principal per month. Any advice from those that paid off their mortgage early? Let's see. Mortgage. My wife and I are already trying to figure out how much extra we want to apply to the principal per month. That's not how it works. How it works is, so you wouldn't be doing that until you're on steps 4, 5, and 6. That means you had your starter emergency fund, you paid off all non-mortgage debt, and then you have the full emergency fund now. And then that's when you move to 4, 5, and 6, which is investing for retirement and saving for kid college, if that applies, and then paying that house off early. And you use your snowball amount to apply to that. While you're doing that, though, on steps 4 through 6, you can also spend some fun money, extra fun money. You can put whatever you want in the budget as long as it doesn't make you go back down to a lower baby step. So you don't pick an amount to put on there. You would address it as it is. You would do address 4, 5, and 6 in the order that it is. You are doing all those at the same time. So you would do 15%, and you only do 15% of gross income to retirement until the house is paid off. And then then whatever's left over after you do that 15%, then you apply it to steps 5 and 6. So if the kids are very young, or they don't apply, then you would do you can do just a little bit if they're young. If it doesn't apply because you don't have kids, you just skip that one, and then any extra money you have would go to the mortgage. And so that's how you figure that out. It's not, oh, I'm going to pick a number to put to the principal extra per month. That's not how you do it. You do that with your snowball. The snowball keeps happening in steps 4, 5, and 6. It's just not going out the door to debt. It's staying with you. Well, step 3 stays with you as well. But especially here, the paying off the house early, that equity, that stays with you. So, and when you sell the house, you get all that money back. So that is much better to do. And so you wouldn't want, also you don't want to pick a number because what if that's too little? And then you find you have extra money in savings and so forth. You should not have any extra savings either, other than known expenses that are coming up, sinking funds, and the full emergency funds. You shouldn't have an extra slush fund in savings in case you want to buy something. It's not how the baby steps work. If there is something you want to buy, you put it in the budget and then you budget for it. If it's a known expense that's coming up, you put it in a sinking fund that has that exact name on it. But otherwise, any extra goes to the mortgage if you've taken care of steps 4 and 5 already. If those apply, of course. Edited, thank you for all your help. I've decided to let my dream camper go and sell it, which will allow me to pay all my remaining bills and be debt-free. Fabulous. Great decision. So I guess that's what most people said, but the original post was, good morning all, struggling with a decision. I'm on disability, so money is tight, but I get by. House is paid off, and I have a 2K. Have 2K in an emergency fund. I have 23K in car debt, which will be paid off next month from money I'm getting from the sale of mom's house. But again, changed all that to just sell the dream camper, and that pays all bills and be debt free, and hopefully a good start on the full emergency fund as well. Let's see what it is. 15K in credit card debt. Stupidly bought a travel trailer for 41K cash received in the settlement. I know nothing on that trailer. I've been offered 33K for the trailer, which will pay. There you go. Struggling with seller as I love camping in the trailer itself. I will have money left over to buy a lesser trailer with cash after paying everything off. Thoughts on what I should do? That exactly. Have your full emergency fund before you buy the lesser trailer, though. Will anyone out there share their experience in reaching 59 and a half? No, not there yet. Can't do that. Mark 2, where you start withdrawing from your 401k. The 4% rule makes sense, but let's say you have $1 million in 401k. You take out 40K a year, and then that's taxed. Doesn't seem like a lot after working so hard for 40 years to build the 401k up. Alrighty, well, the tax part is why Roth is advised over any non-match in a 401k. So you go up to the match because that's 100% rate of return. So you definitely do that. But after that, you should be in a Roth 401k. And actually, your contributions to the Roth 401k, that also counts as your match, but they have to, by law, put that in a regular 401k. So you take your 401k that you have now, and you don't necessarily have to move it over to a Roth because that will create a tax event. You can just leave that as it is now, but then you start the 401k the Roth 401k if your employer offers it. Not all of them do offer it, but you would just start doing any new contributions to that. And that takes care of the tax because there's no tax on the growth. You pay tax on the much smaller amount of the contributions in the Roth 401k. And so, all right, so the 4% rule makes sense, I guess, but it's too low. It's too low what you can do. So unless you're in bad investments, you should be making at least what the S&P 500 makes a year, which is 10% average. And so that makes 10% average. So guess what you can do? If that makes 10% average, you can take out 8% a year average. Now, you shouldn't take out any more than you need to. Just take out what you need to and leave the rest in to grow. But guess what? If you average 10% and you take out average growth, if you take out average 8%, guess what? You're never touching the principal. So people like, I mean, that's the industry standard, supposedly, or just the financial bro standard, but that's dumb. Because guess what? You have no idea if 4% of anybody's money is going to be enough for their expenses, just like this person is worried about. Even if he's not worried about it, he is thinking about it. So, yeah, so that is dumb. And I'll keep saying it's dumb. Saying 4% just to throw out a number. That's so stupid. Dave is saying if you make 10% average, you can take out 8% average, and you're actually leaving an extra 2% average in there. All right. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that there'll never be down years even. It doesn't mean that's not going to happen, because that will, but we're going on the average. And so you just throwing a number out there that you like 4%, doesn't change the reality that it might not be enough to pay for your expenses in retirement. So that is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Now, granted, if 4 will pay for all your expenses, then that's all you should take out. Of course. So that's all the questions we have for there. What time is it? 8:08. All right. Well, we got through those really quickly. So I guess we'll see what's going on the Reddit then. Let's see, and we did this one on Thursday's after show. Major guy, 1058. Should I pay off my mortgage and our car loan? The answer is yes. Any kind of debt you do pay off. That's a short answer. Chunky Cheddar, 90. I feel like, for me, things are okay, but could defo be better? Abbreves are always approved. Can anyone more experienced offer some advice / input? To follow Dave Ramsey's advice to the letter. Do the baby steps. I don't know what you're looking for. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Throwaway account here just for the sake of it. Because you don't want anybody to trace it back to you, apparently. That's the only reason I can think of. I'm currently 33 in full-time employment for the Ministry of Defense. Oh, is this in the bloody UK? I'm currently on 45k per year, not counting overseas pay. In March, I shall be going up to 51.4k per year. In my current account, I have 15k. I have 5k in a rainy day saver from Barclays, which is 4.7%. Okay, I have 20k ISA. Yep, UK, the bloody UK, all right. They do not have 401ks there. Again, Barclays, 4.7% again. Opened a 20K cash ISO with trading 212. Okay, doing a lot of advertising for the people that you use, which is between 5 and 5.2%. Okay, so far I have 20K stocks and shares. ISA single stocks not recommended by Mr. Ramsey. Currently about 8% gains. This was open just as COVID hit. So it was down for ages, but has recovered in the last 12 months and is now making money. That's not how that works. So you probably in bad investments, which maybe Barclays doesn't have that good investment options. Or maybe you just pick wrong ones if you picked them. But the market has made a lot more than 8% in the past since COVID. It's made a lot more than that per year average. Again, so you could definitely do better. You need better investments. Let's see if there's anything else. With the same investment brokers, they need to be making you at least 10% a year, dog, on average. Not just 8 this year, because the market is up way more than 8% this year. Own an apartment, which I currently rent out for 850 PCM. I guess that's per month. Full managed. There's just about break even between the management fees. So you don't do that then if it just about breaks even. Why would you do that? Why would you bother? It will be cleared in 7 years. Why would you bother? You could sell it and do better and buy better investments this time. I'm not sure if I ever plan to live in an apartment. You could sell that. You could sit into unis, pay an accountant to manage the capital gains yearly, because quite frankly, it's just CBA. I don't know what CBA means. Some UK thing, I guess. To deal. This results about 1K tax bill plus accountant's fees. Yeah, you're not making any money on the freaking real estate. Get rid of it. So get rid of that and get better investments in your investment accounts, because you're leaving money on the table, my friend. My friend across the pond. Greetings from the colonies, as always. Crafty challenge. Am I bankrupt? Let's go ahead and open it up. Yeah, the Facebook group doesn't have people writing War and Peace like this as much. So let's see. Am I bankrupt? Family of 3 living in the San Francisco Bay Area. That'll help doing it. Live in a very high cost of living area. That'll help with going bankrupt. Layoffs, taking a job with significant pay cut, living in a high cost of living city, bad spending habits, all of that'll work. And other factors have led us to where we are now. Yeah. So, the layoff, you're not in control of that. Taking a job with significant pay cut, you're the one that decided to do that. But if it's the only one you could get for the time being, you take that job and do that job, and you keep looking for a higher paying job. The living in a high cost of living city, you can move. Bad spending habits, that you can fix. Stop it. And the other factors, maybe they put other factors in here. So the other factors probably are stuff you also did not have to do. We've already cut down on a lot of it. You need to cut down on all of them. Not just a lot, all of them. Downsizing from a 2-bedroom apartment to a 1-bedroom, $3,200 to $2,600. Cheaper daycare, $1,800 to $1,400. Grocery shopping in bulk at Costco. So the Costco thing You have to do that right in order for it to be money savings. Because if you end up like buying too much food and it spoils or whatever, it goes out of date, and you can't eat it all by the time it goes out of date, so then you're losing money on it. So you got to be careful about those grocery warehouses. Noting on a restaurant, cheaper phone, internet, insurance plans, etc., but was still negative each month. Oh, that's too bad. We got to move out of San Francisco. Sorry about that. Is bankruptcy the best option here? No, that's the final option, and you move before you declare bankruptcy. I know we qualify for 13, but 7 possible, even if we're 60K over the median income. No, you just move away from the part of the problem. And most of the problem is in your mirror, but some of the problem is that you're trying to do, and probably were even before with your other job, you probably weren't making enough money. Probably bought too much house or apartment there, rather. Let's see, current income, debt, expenses. All right, let's check it out. 4,200 for that person, 44 for spouse. Okay, so that's 44. Is that take home? Yeah, that's take home. And so that is cheaper than daycare. So, you know, like you wouldn't want to pay 1,400 for daycare and one of the spouses make $2,000. So like just $600 difference. You do better, be better off staying at home, and then you can make up that $600 in other ways. Credit cards, dumb, 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 and these low amounts too. Dumb, 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 dumb. Yeah, so some of the crap that you bought with these, sell that stuff. Sell that. Why does Dave hate RVs so much? He does not. He does not like them if you buy, he doesn't mind them if you buy them in cash and you don't have any debt at all. If you're on step 4 and you buy them in cash, because they're toys. And so he treats them like toys. That's what they are. And if you're on step 4 and you pay cash for it, he's perfectly fine with it. No loans on toys. No loans on anything except a mortgage. And if you're talking about to live in, yep, Aslan is right. They're an asset that loses value. Yeah, if you're talking about them to live in, he doesn't advise that, or or tiny houses or anything like that, because the long-term resale value on the tiny house is not proven, and the RV goes down in value. Yeah, but you're not trying to live in your car either, and it's the same thing with cars. You pay for them in cash. But a car is just as transportation. An RV is a toy. Where were we here? Student loans, $35,000. Personal loans, 25 and 32K. Car loan, 200. Oh, sell that car. One car loan, just 27,000. I was thinking 270. Wow. So you could sell that car, $400 a month. Sell that car and get a beater. Rent 2,600. That's probably not bad for where you are. Food 500 for at least 3 people. So a month probably not too bad. Internet 50. Car insurance 200. Gas 200. Diapers, baby-related items, 200. And the daycare, of course, 1,400. Total income, total minimum payments, total expenses, total income, total minimum minus the total expenses equal negative 95 a month. That means you got to work more. You got to work a part-time job too, in addition to your other job. So, and you gotta, you could sell the car. That might help some of it. That 400, if you don't have that 400 payment, then that'll cover the 95 that you're short. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, now if you're living in it, see, you're not using it as a toy either. And so I would have a bit more leniency on that for myself as well. But Dave just doesn't like them because they go down in value. They depreciate. Even though you're using it as a house, it doesn't appreciate as a house would. Where are we at? There we go. Do 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 do. Hasn't saved a lot of money doing that, but most people get expensive ones, and that is not a good plan, right? And they get a loan on it instead of getting a $1,500 one, which I'm assuming was used. Aslan, Stunning Syrup, new job. If you had a choice, would you choose pension or 401k option? 401k, assuming that you have good investment options in it, and so you're not stuck, because the pension generally makes a lot less than the market does. So you go 401k, and almost certainly that would make more than the pension does. Let's see, state jobs, you can choose either one. Yeah, do the 401k, do Roth 401k if the government offers it. Don't know if they do. Let's see. Payout for the pension is comparable. It would, if the market grows at around 6%, if the market grew at 8, the 401k would technically pay more, but could also run out. Oh yeah, well, you are getting a lower amount of money forever, I guess, until you die. But the idea is that you would make enough to take care of that as well. You would have enough to last and also make more. So, leaning towards the pension, it feels smarter. Not to me, it doesn't. And the fact it never runs out, money till you die. Yeah, but a lesser amount of money until you die. Are there any blind spots of not considering? Yeah, the fact that the market makes more. And considerably more. So you're talking about the S&P 500 making, if that makes 8%, your managed mutual funds that you should be buying can make way more than that. For example, the NASDAQ has been kicking the S&P 500's butt. So if you had the NASDAQ index instead of the S&P 500 for only you S&P, for you S&P 500 only people, you would be making more than that as well. So there's too much upside to the 401k and managed mutual funds over a pension. Can we get Dave Ramsey to react to this? We can't get Dave to do anything. 90k underwater vehicle paying $3,300 per month. Yeah. So you would still sell it and take a loan for the difference, and that would be less than you're paying now, hopefully. I haven't gotten a new email from you, Miss T Bikini, in a while, in days. When was the last time you sent one? It's not much, but it's a little something. Less pretty lumine. Less pretty lumine. Don't know what that means. It's not much, but it's something. Yesterday I paid off a loan I had for 5 years, and last month I paid off my second credit card. In 2024, the first credit card was a small retailer card, so not really a big thing, but I'm just thankful for the progress and discipline. Great. Even getting to this point has been hard, but here I am, writing out my plan steps by the month and checking it off as I go has helped so much, right? That makes you be intentional when you write that down. And now my sights are set on the next credit card. Baby step 2 flare. Fabulous. That's how it starts. Sarah here now. People who have a limited company. So if you work as a contractor and have a limited company, what's the best way to buy a house? Does the company buy it, or do you pay yourself a larger wage to get a house? Work as a contractor and have a limited company. Oh, so you work as a contractor for somebody else, or you're working as a contractor for yourself? I don't understand that. You don't generally have your company buy your house. So you would need a larger wage to make the payments on that. And you don't like take out a business loan and then buy a house with it. You don't do that. Boo ba doo boo boo. Yeah, I've been checking my scam. I might have got one a week ago from you, but I replied. I can't remember because I respond to several people. But I think I told you to give me some days or times in which to meet. I think is what I did. So email me again and give me like 3 different days and times. Obviously, I can't do it during any of my streams, as you know, which is basically during the day until from what time? From like an hour before the Ramsey show video starts until like an hour after it. Can't do any of those days during the week. And on the weekends, there's like football and stuff like that. But I mean, if you give me a couple, and I'll see if I can do it. Oh, you did find it? You did see it? You did find it. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Feel like you got some good advice I can try, even though I don't agree with your RV thing. But again, if you're gonna live in it, you're not buying it as a toy. Most people buy those as a toy. Oh, let's see. True intention 4322 to buy or not buy in-laws house in Hawaii. Okay, so the way that Dave says to look at these things is that you have to take the in-law part out of it, and you have to be honest with yourself and say if you would buy that house if it wasn't your in-laws. If you just saw that on the street, saw the for sale sign, and you're like, oh, I gotta have that, but because your in-laws are involved, if that changes it, then you got to be careful at that point. Let's see, long time lurker. Let's go ahead. Put up the whole thing. Long time lurker, first time poster, needing advice on a potential property purchase / family dynamics. My wife and I are considering buying my in-laws house in Hawaii. We want to do this for 2 reasons. To relieve her parents with the financial burden / stress. Mid to late 60s and are working just to pay off the mortgage. Okay. to move back to Hawaii so our kids 2 and 4 and 6 can grow up around family and their culture. All right. So are you going to let the parents live there? You going to let the in-laws live there like they are now, even after you buy it? Let's see, property purchase. We would assume the existing mortgage and they do not want any equity from the house. Okay, so you would get it changed to your name, everything in your name, right? Current situation, 3 siblings are living in the house and don't pay rent. Alrighty, here we go. And this is why you don't do this crap, because it's too much family dynamics going around here, and no, no hashtag boundaries. Paging Dr. Cloud, paging Dr. Cloud. And so, yeah, we plan to start charging them $700 each. All 3 of those are fine with that, I'm sure, which is substantially below the market rate for Maui. We will have it in writing that if they miss a payment, we would cover, plus discuss what happened and work on a solution that would benefit both parties. This is a no. This is a no. So maybe you buy it and let the in-laws still live there, and the house is all completely yours. The in-laws don't have any say anymore, but you are going to still let them live there, apparently. That's fine. Now, when you start involving other crap, too, that's when I have a problem with it. But we'll have it in writing that if they miss a payment, we would cover, plus discuss what happened and work on a solution that would benefit both parties. This is bull crap. So this is going to be like a legal agreement, and for a legal agreement, you say exactly what happens. For example, if they miss a payment, they owe you extra, and if they miss a second payment, they're out. You have to have the things that are going to happen in that document. You don't say we would cover and discuss and work on a solution. That's not how a legal agreement works. If they miss 2 payments, then they would have to unfortunately move out. Okay, I mean, if that's going to be there, I feel better about it since you said that. But still, I'm not doing it because of the 3 siblings. Other financial factors: if one sibling leaves, we'll still have a positive cash flow of $400 per month. But if both of them get mad and leave, you cover the difference of $300 per month, which is fine, as we save around $1K a month. Okay, so you're still positive, but I mean that's not a lot of wiggle room. Hawaii is probably more cost of living than you are right now, so that is a financial factor. If all 3 siblings stay at the house, we would come out $1,100 ahead each month. We're planning to save $15K as a housing emergency fund, and then use the extra $1,100 to pay down the mortgage more quickly. Moving in, we plan to move if all the siblings move out of the house, or when we pay off our mortgage and can build on top of the house. All right, baby step 4, 5, and 6. Utah, with no family around us. Own our home with $100K in equity, $150K left on the mortgage. Income $110. Still gonna make the $110 in Hawaii. I know Papa Dave advises not to buy an investment property until our mortgage is gone and we cash flow the next property. That is correct. And so what you do when you say, I know Papa Dave advises this, period, then you're done. You don't need to type anything else. There's no however after that. He has already figured out what the best advice is. However, I feel like for me, this is a bit of a one-off situation. My little situation is different. I'm the exception. That is false. As it's the only way we could move back to Hawaii and be closer to family. How? You sell your house in Utah and you move back and you get your own house there. So see, you're just making up stuff now as excuses. Justification station here to do this. Does this seem like a sound financial decision? No. Considering our current situation and goals, no. Are there any potential pitfalls? That's all I've been talking about is the pitfalls or things we should be cautious about in the plan. Yeah, everything. Don't do it. Any potential family drama? Yes. Yeah, of course there's going to be family drama. I've been very transparent with them. It doesn't matter. Saying we won't go forward if this will make any of the siblings upset for whatever reason. Yeah, they may be fine with it now. I mean, also, I would want to know if they have even agreed to all pay the 700, or if you still have yet to present that to them. But yeah, I mean, they can say that now that they're fine and that there's no problem with it. And of course, in families, there is no problem until there is. There's always some kind of problem in extended family. Even if it's hidden and never talked about for years, there's still somebody is feeling some kind of way about something, even if it's not going to cause, the family to split up or anything. Any insights or advice would be greatly appreciated. Update, mahalo for your advice. See more details below. Price, living situation, Hawaii. None of this matters. None of this changes anything. Multi-generational housing, very common in Hawaii. Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it's a good idea. It's very clear that we're walking into a bit of a fire. Yep. I like the idea of having the siblings pay rent, then having them move out. And then once everything is clear, then we move back, buy the place, and call it peace. Yeah, you have the siblings pay rent to the in-laws. Yeah, that's a much better plan. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad they worked it out. What time is it? Alrighty. Do 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 do. Oh, camper part of your truck. Comfort point of view, renting a room in someone's home is a lot better. It is more costly. Not forever, just want to know I don't want to leave. The other is couch surf. If you can for a short time, put lots of effort in deciding where you want to live. Camper will be okay for a few months till I get home, but if your situation looks great, congrats. Camper's bed is more comfortable than my bed at home. All right. Thank you. It turned out really well, but it was a lot more difficult than I expected when I first moved out here. Alrighty. So, Miss T Bikini, you did see my email? I also have a list of things, of numbers and such that you will have to provide before our appointment so that I can better advise you. Alrighty, so this has been, what's the name of this one? This is Answering Your Financial Questions Live. I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. That's me, Coach Steve Money. And you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And for other financial content, just scroll down till you get to the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. The Ramsey Show After Show playlist and the music playlist, which has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. All right, so yeah, even if you haven't gotten that, you just email me. Like I said, you give me like three varying dates and times where you would like to meet, and I'll see what I can work out of that. We'll be able to find something. Or if you give me your total availability, I can pick something out of that. Alrighty, and to do my plugs, let me reset the plugs and start them again once more. Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and Coach Steve Money is me. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial consultation with me at calendly.com at Coach Steve Money, or just email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com, like Miss T Bikini is going to do. Donations go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, the Cash App at $Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, answering your financial questions. That's on the weekend, so the next one will be tomorrow night in the same time slot. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays and Sundays. Also, the Ramsey Show After Show, and that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 Eastern Time. And on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, in that same time slot, Ramsey Show Chat Refugee Streams. And that's it again, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll try to have some kind of content of some type. Past 2 times we've done Family Feud. Yeah, it seemed to have been pretty cool. Alrighty. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.